Cause it's like in sales, you got to sometimes there. And I learned a couple of things from Tony later on in my career where like once, and I'll explain what it is to everybody, but once I got this one thing that explained for me, my sales like quadrupled. But in sales, there's 3 different postures essentially. And I'm a nice guy. Like I'm super nice. And even, and I was so sensitive and caring and connecting. That can be great at a time. And now I've learned to be really dominant and pushy, like a Grant Cardone, like some of these guys, maybe Dan Locke, and that's good at times. So the key skill is sensory acuity and behavioral flexibility. Easier said than done. Acute sensitivity, because sometimes I need to be here, sometimes here, some there, but I was always kind of equal in, and there's a pendulum to this energy that we give of dominant or whatever. But I spend most of my time in composure, and I had a really good, just like that explanation of what I was talking about, like my center of gravity, really good. But when you hear these speakers talk on stage or whatever, at one side of the pendulum, they're over posturing where it sounds like this: people pay me $2 million and I'm so busy and I'm so great. And, I was just doing this. And, so that's based in fear. That's based in fear. I need you to see me. I have a mask and I need you to see me as my mask is really great, so that I don't have to deal with you, or that I have to whatever. Or the other side of it, and this is where my presentation was, and this is where the feedback was, where I botched them. In stressful situations, say you're at composure, people will over posture and get dominant and mean. Do you know who the fuck I am type thing? Or they go the other way into collapse. And especially when I started selling for myself, and when I started, I would go into collapse, where it sounded like this: like to have me come in for a training, it'd be, 30 grand for a day. And that wouldn't all go to me, that would go to the company. So it's 30 grand for a day. But then when I break off, from Tony, and I do a training and I'm selling me, I'd say, hey, it used to be 30, but now I'll do it for 10. And they'd be paused. I said, well, I'll do it for 5. I actually, how about this? I pay you to come in and train you, and maybe you give me a testimonial. I know I'm kind of new, but I'm just sorry, and so I would start collapsing. And so there's this energy there where you have to be really sensitive. Early on, my energy always went to collapse. And so the feedback I got was to go strong. And so I started going strong at times, and I was one note, and I'd be really strong, and I'd get the people that were insecure, but I couldn't influence the people that were more confident. And so I was like, something's off here in the energy. So this concept of sensory acuity, behavioral flexibility, and I'll go into it a bit, really, really important, but I would have a tendency to collapse. And after one of my mentors told me that I need to push more, he says, you don't know how hard you can go until you've gone too far. You don't know what too far is.
It's interesting you say that.